prior, it's kind of like, okay, I have a kid sick. I really need to go, but I have 3 tables sitting and who's going to take over them? Now it's like, if I have a kid that calls, I'm like, okay, I could be in between the lead's house. I can rearrange my schedule to go pick them up, drop them off at home, or get them wherever they need to be, and then go back to work.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Price. I'm a partner with Senior Life Insurance Company, and today is going to be episode 8 of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things. I have the honor to interview my guest, Miss Valerie. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's it. So Valerie, she's currently working with the Price Group part-time. She's a soccer mom, a gymnastics mom, a housewife. What else are you, Valerie? What other titles do you have?
Counselor, backbone family. I don't know. Everybody calls on me for everything, so I'm always there.
You definitely are always there. You definitely have a hectic life, and I'm really glad to have a chance to interview you. And I've had a lot of people on here that were full time and that were 100% fully committed and they didn't have anything else going on. And there's a lot of people that are always asking me, is there something I could do part-time? And when someone asks me if there's something they could do part-time, you're the person I think of, because you get it done. You get it done, and you get it done in a very efficient and timely manner. Wouldn't you agree?
I try my hardest. I wish I could go out full-time. But right now, with my schedule and my kids and soccer and violin and everything else, part-time is what I can work with, and definitely pays the bills.
So you're a violin mom too? Is that a real thing?
Yes, my daughter has been in youth orchestra for 4 years now, and she's been playing violin for 13 years.
I feel like I don't even know you. I don't know how.
Yes.
Okay, so we got soccer practice.
Soccer practice. I coach my son's U12 boys team. My daughter plays soccer for Acadiana High, and she plays violin in the youth orchestra in Louisiana, in Lafayette.
Wait, so you're coaching the soccer?
Yes, I coach.
Okay, so that's a lot harder than just showing up to the game sometimes.
Yes, for sure. I assistant coach with another guy, and we've been doing it for years. So, I'm always there.
Awesome. So the violin. You're coaching. You're a soccer coach and a soccer mom. I think a soccer coach
Sure.
is bigger than a soccer mom. I feel like that's a higher level there. Am I right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
It just comes as just as a natural now. Been doing it for so long.
Be proud. Be proud. Come on. That's a little bit more of a commitment than a soccer mom.
Right. For sure. So.
All right. So. And then gymnastics, that's a big part too. And I know gymnastics is, am I wrong?
We don't do gymnastics. No.
I'm making stuff up.
We don't, just a little bit. My son would love to be in gymnastics, but I can't manage to swing it.
All right. We got this straight now.
Yeah.
All right, good. So again, I know you got your license in May of 2019. Let's talk about before that. Let's talk about what you were doing before you got your license, and what life was like, and what sparked your interest. How did we start talking? How did this all happen?
So prior to me jumping into life insurance, I worked in the restaurant business. I've pretty much done that all my life. I was working part-time in a different restaurant. The place before that I was managing, and I was working, roughly 60 to 80 hours a week. So I was looking for something a little bit different. So I started working part-time, and I was making enough money to pay bills, and that was about it. But I had a job. So I stuck with it. I loved the place I worked at. I loved people I worked with. And then you came along, and you actually came to the house and got my fiance covered under senior life with some life insurance. I can't remember why we didn't sign me up, but we talked about me doing the course. And so, little iffy about it. I saw how easy it was for you to get my fiance covered. And so I was like, maybe this is something I can do. Make my own schedule, make more money than I was prior, in the restaurant business. So I jumped in head first and started on the course. Little did I know that the course I would get stagnant on chapter one and take 2 months to complete. But after that, it was just, smooth sailing pretty much after that.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when I came over there and Brandon, your husband, and I was able to get them covered with life insurance, did you think that it would be that easy to be able to do the same thing yourself?
I did doubt myself at first. So no, I did not think it would be that easy.
Because I remember for myself, I think I was in middle school, and one of my friend's fathers was a life insurance agent, and I think I remember him telling me that it was a great business to be in. And
I hear it often.
in my head, I'm thinking like 4-year degree, you got to know some people. Like I didn't realize that a simple 20-hour online course would open up so many doors, you know?
Absolutely. And I didn't either. You spoke about it's only 20 hours, and I'm like, there ain't no way. And I doubted the whole process, for sure.
As most people do, there's a lot of things out there we're just not subject to, right? I think that's the big thing. Go to school, to go to another school, and then if you're doing really good at that school, you should probably go to another school, right? And then
Right.
one day get a job.
Right. And we're in the process right now. My daughter, she'll be a senior next year. And we're talking about colleges and what do you want to be, and stuff like that. And so it's like, okay, well, you have to go to this for 2 years, and then you got to go to here. But you need to know what your major is. You have to have a general idea of what you want to be when you grow up. And she's like, but I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, that's something we need to sit down and talk about. I'm grateful now because she's like, well, I can just do life insurance. And like, absolutely, whatever you want to do. But it's true. It's instilled in our brains of going to college and just, getting those degrees to be somebody, to get that pay. That's how I was always brought up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I say all the time with like the school system. So for me, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be rich, right? I dreamed of living in a mansion and driving exotic cars and just doing exotic things. Like that was, I don't know what opened my eyes to that as a kid, but that was just always my goal. Like I remember telling my grandmother when I was probably 10 years old, like I'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. Like it was my thought, right? But then we go to school and they program you with, what do you want your career to be? What do you want your job to be? Do you want to be a police officer? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be an attorney? As opposed to like, what do you want your life to look like? Right? Because
Right.
if they ask me what I want my life to look like, I'm like, well, I want to be a police officer. Like, okay, cool. What kind of house do you want to live in? I want to live in a 10,000 square foot house on the ocean. Well, David, you're going to have to find a different job. The police officer is not going to give you what you want. You
Correct.
might do a couple things here. So if that's really what you want, that's what you need to work towards and make the destination more clear, right? So that's what you got to do. You got to sit her down and you got to ask, what do you want her life to look like?
Right, for sure, absolutely. And she's a little bougie, so she's gonna have to do something different than just go to college for 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, awesome. So I remember you're working as a server. I remember when you started the process. I remember you being a little stagnant at first, but that you're not the only one, right? That happens a lot.
Oh, for sure.
A matter of fact, I actually started, little story I probably don't share too much, is I started my insurance course and then Hurricane Maria happened. And I remember I text Doug, I was like, hey, Hurricane Maria happened to have an opportunity to go to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico for a while to help out there after the hurricane. So I'll do the course afterwards. So I started a course that I never actually finished. And I text Doug that, and he actually ignored me because he probably figured I probably just wouldn't do the course at all. That I was, and yeah, I went for 7 months, and then afterwards I completed the course and started my new career. But I remember, so when you first were getting started, I remember you told me you still want to do banquets. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I didn't make I worked the normal, 9 to 3 shift. I don't work evenings because of course naturally I have either violin or soccer, 5 days a week. So I was still with the insurance business. I was one leg in, one leg out, and I wasn't really totally sure. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it part-time, but I still want to do my banquets because I had this one group that came in monthly. I love them to death. And I made good money off of them. Good money was, $150. And I only worked for a couple hours. And so I didn't want to give that up. I was pretty spoiled to my group. And You were like, but Valerie, like, you don't understand. And I was like, no, Dave, you don't understand. I'm just going to work my banquets and I'm going to do this on the side. So that's what I was pretty set on, until I started selling policies. And I was like, you know what? I make 4 times that amount in that hour that I just don't need to do both.
Gotta be a little bit easier too, I'm thinking.
It actually is. It really is. I was comfortable being a server. I was comfortable in that zone, and there was really nothing that made me uncomfortable. So, I'd been doing it for so long that I just wasn't ready to step out of my comfort zone and to do something else. I knew it was easy money, and I sold myself short, really, by selling insurance.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And that's the one thing it's hard to show people that. Again, it's one of those things. It's like it's kind of like when we're a kid and we keep on telling our mom, like, I can't wait to grow up, and the mom's like, just wait, you're gonna wish you were a kid. And we're like, you don't know what you're talking about, mom. I'm gonna grow up,
right,
be amazing, right?
right,
And then
right.
you get at the end, like, oh, I see what they're talking about now.
Yes, it's true. It really is.
So no more banquets.
No more banquets.
No more banquets.
I said I was gonna, a month in, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna still keep it, and I didn't. I never went back. I miss it, but I really, really enjoy doing what I'm doing now. I've always was a people person. I enjoy meeting new people, out in the public and helping people. And so I really take pride in the work that I do now.
You do an amazing job. I mean, like, I can tell that, for the time that you spend in and the numbers that you put up, that you really care about people and you really want to help people. Because when a new agent usually comes, they're trying to get paid. They're so focused on making money, right? And what happens is you're not successful like that. But when you figure out how to help people and work on helping people, that's when the money comes. And I can tell that you love people and you really want to help people because, again, like, the amount of leads you get out, the amount of time you go out, I mean, you're a serious producer, Valerie.
Thank you. I mean, I try. I like to sit down. I like to get personal. I like to make a connection. I like to make them feel wanted. So, and I have a way with talking with people. So I enjoy getting to know other people, other lifestyles, people's want and needs, because, I have a bunch of resources outside of just life insurance that I could help other people with as well. So I like to get personable with anybody.
Just I remember Michelle was talking. She said, I can't, Valerie, she don't take crap. I can't see her taking crap.
No, I will call you out on your BS and find out, why you have the excuse. I don't want to hear the excuse. I want to know the real reason, So yeah, I don't just take no for an answer.
Good. That's good. So, and I should have went through and got the stats. I'm a little red in the face right now. I know you definitely been at 10,000 a month. And I know you definitely part of the 10K club. Have you hit the 20K club yet?
I have not. I
Okay,
have
so
not.
we got a goal then for you.
Yes, I do have a new goal. It is written in my rearview mirror, 20K. So every day I get into my car, I can see it. That's where I wrote my 10K. So that is my new goal now. I am working a little bit more than I was prior. My fiance had a job change in November. So now he's home more, which came with a pay cut. So I'm out in the field a little bit more. So he's here to help me at home, unlike prior. So that's nice to have. So
And
20K, here I come.
and through the midst of all that transition and stuff, I think you were able to buy your daughter her first car. Is that correct?
We did. Luckily I reached out to a friend that's works in Lafayette at a car lot, and told him our wants and needs and what we were looking for, and I trusted him in his judgment, and my daughter fell in love with it, so I was able to purchase her car. She's 16, she drives to school now, and I was like, yes, she can bring Grayson where he needs to go. She can go to orchestra by herself on Monday, kind of free up another 4 hours for me. My fiance can cook supper on Mondays, I ain't got to worry about coming home. So it's nice, definitely, especially to have that financial freedom to be able to do something like that for her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One thing I definitely want to shout out to Brandon, man. So Brandon is just super, super, super supportive of you and what you do. And, as you know, I work with a ton of people, and, just to see somebody that's just so supportive. I mean, from day one, he was just really, open-minded, like, hey, if this is what you want to do, how can I help? And very supportive, man. So big shout out, man. Good
Absolutely.
you got there.
Thanks.
That's it.
Thanks.
So yeah, he's definitely been supported through the whole journey. So shout out to Brandon. So all right, so we got 10K club, soccer mom, violin mom, and you're going to college at some point, and your major was biology.
Correct. I graduated high school in 2002. I entered at ULL, University of Louisiana at Lafayette. My major was biology. Unforeseen circumstances, I got pregnant young, the age of 19, had my daughter at 20. During that time, I actually tried to continue at college, but I just couldn't maintain. I did try again when she was 6 months old. However, I was not successful. So I've always wanted to go back, and I know prior to jumping into insurance, Mia and I had a talk, and I said, hey, look, when you go to college, I'll make a promise to you. I'll go back to college with you. We will go to college together, hand in hand. I'm not scared of going back. I would love to go back. Because she was scared to go at first. And I was like, hey, look, we can do it together. I don't mind. Here I am, 2.5 years later, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go spend all that money for nothing, just to have a piece of paper. So we'll see. We have another year left to go until college, and we'll see where she wants to go with it. So
you wouldn't be the first person I caused to be a college dropout. So I'm actually.
Well, I mean, I'm already a 2-time college dropout. So, but if I don't try again, I'll never know.
So, but biology, I mean, what was your goal with that degree? What did you want to do? You wanted to work
I wanted to be a physical therapist. I tore my ACL in 2001 in my knee, and I actually had to have knee surgery. Updated playing soccer for high school. And so it interested me. I wanted to be, physical therapist and work with people in that field. Of course, when I was younger, I had that, childhood dream of being a veterinarian. I always adored animals, but as I got older, it didn't interest me. So during my knee injury and my physical therapy for, 6 to 10 months, I was like, I'm in here every day, 3 times a week. I'm like, hey, maybe I could do this. And then I had to figure out, how do I get there? And I knew I needed a 4 year at, our college here. And then I had to go to physical therapy school. I had no idea how I was going to do it. But I wanted to do it. So I tried. Chemistry is not my thing at all. So that's where I struggled at.
Yeah,
So
I think I would have some issues with chemistry as well.
yeah, I mean, I did great in everything else. Chemistry, I couldn't pass. So here I am, just doing life insurance now, and I really don't have no want to go back anymore.
I definitely understand that. Things definitely change when you see what else is out there. So let's talk about, we got a few people on here watching, as always, man. Definitely appreciate everyone always on our lives and sharing our lives and commenting and giving us, I think, what they call it, when it's not a like anymore, it's a reaction now, right? It's the reaction button, because it's so many different things.
Right.
What are some things, obviously there's people that are interested in what you do, and you may think they could do it, may think they can't. What are some words of wisdom that you may have? Because you got a lot of wisdom, Valerie. So let's share some wisdom.
So from experience, I really, sold myself short on my abilities to do something of this nature. You think insurance, and you think paperwork, and you think, I've got to know all these medications, and it's really not about that. Senior Life has made it so easy with the Slice app that you don't really have to be as knowledgeable. So, I mean, if I could give any advice, it'd be just try it. It's not as hard as it's made out to seem. Definitely.
Absolutely. So what's your favorite part about all this?
Probably helping people and getting to know people, for sure. I've made a lot of relationships and connections with people. Naturally, I work out in Baton Rouge area. I'm always about an hour away from home. So my kids don't call me and ask me for something, so I try to be a little further away from home. And I've met, wonderful people that have invited me to their house for 4th of July, for Christmas, for, events. If you're ever in the area, come, we'll go fishing, just small things like that. Just creating relationships with these people that I have no idea who they are until I get to their house and get them some coverage. That's my favorite part of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's got to be nice making your own schedule, since you do have such a busy schedule, and you do always have a tad going on, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Prior, it's kind of like, okay, I have a kid sick. I really need to go, but I have 3 tables sitting, and who's going to take over them? Now it's like, if I have a kid that calls, I'm like, okay, I could be in between the lead's house. I can rearrange my schedule to go pick them up, drop them off at home, or get them wherever they need to be, and then go back to work. There's always something that can be done in those times that I can leave.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know, I always thought you're a natural leader, and you had a certain stance to you. And the one thing I'm really wondering is, when are we kicking off Team Mertz? Now that I know you're a coach as well.
So things have kind of we've had some different life changes recently, with my fiance being home and COVID, and I have a little bit more free time on my hands to be able to try to juggle something else. And I think that it may not be called Team Mertz, But I have thrown around some ideas with my fiance at night, kind of like, hey, how's this sound? And he's like, I'm like, all right. So it's been talked about, and I think it is time for me to do something different. So I actually reached out to somebody today and was like, hey, look, we have an opportunity meeting. Why don't you come join me? And, I was like, wait, I may not be there because my daughter has a soccer game. I was like, all right, if you're coming, I'll go. And she was like, okay, you're going to come with me. I was like, yeah. So um, I think it's time, I really wish I would have pushed harder in my first year here. But I'm okay with where I'm at now, and I'm ready to do something different.
Awesome. So what are some of the names that you're coming up with?
I don't know, I've kind of, my
What are you
poor
reading for?
kids, I've kind of thrown their names around, and I'm like, what about MG, Mia, Grayson? I really, that's just trying to figure out what to go with everything, So they got some pretty crafty names coming out now. So
Yeah,
I just don't want to be the Mertz group because it doesn't ring a bell like the Price group.
it's funny that you
So
say that because I feel like it's like I should have thought of a better name, but it's funny because I was the Price Group when it was just me. I think I was the Price Group before I even had my license. I think that was my vision. And so the one thing I do tell everyone that does come up with a name and all the different agencies I help build, and they always ask me, what name. I said, listen, I don't care what name you pick or what you come up with or how long you take coming up with it. At some point, you're going to second guess it. So,
oh, for sure.
so it's just
For
about coming
sure.
up with one and sticking with it.
Yeah.
I like Team Mertz. I don't know. I like Team Mertz.
I do too. I do too. But you always think that maybe you could come up with something better if you just give it some time, you
Right.
know?
Possible.
Yeah. And then you come up with some better and you're like, man, I should just stuck with Team Mertz. So we'll see.
So,
I'll leave it a surprise.
so the important part I just got from this, and for all our viewers and anyone listening, right? Because I'm sure you have a lot of your friends and family watching. And so I just heard Valerie is now hiring
I am.
life insurance agents, no license required. She will guide you through the process and how to get your license. And did I hear a 20-hour course can make you more than a doctor's degree?
Absolutely. For sure.
That is amazing. I'm super pumped. Team Mertz.
Okay.
Come up with whatever name you want. We got to come up with something until then. So that's awesome. Valerie's hiring. I hope everyone's on here paying attention because this is big. This is big.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we're right about at that 30-minute mark. Is there anything at all that we miss? Anything you want to go over? Anything you want to say? Because you always say some pretty amazing things.
I always have the words until I'm put on the spot.
Well, I won't put you on the spot then.
Well, I know I do want to say this. If you're looking for some financial freedom, if you're looking for something more than what you're currently doing, that is pretty much effortless, and it's all the formula is there on how to do it. You just have to follow it, and it's really easy. You don't have to memorize anything. The course is really, really easy. $40 is what it only takes, and it will change your life forever. I promise.
Absolutely. It's definitely changed mine, and I've seen it change so many. That's why I got this nice hammer now because of the insurance industry. I don't think I would ever be able to buy that hammer.
Yeah, there's a hammer, that shield, everything else.
I got my the heart for
There you go.
Iron Man heart. But cool. Well, I definitely appreciate you, Valerie. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your Wednesday night. Look forward to rocking with you tomorrow and
Awesome.
doing this all over again. We're having an opportunity meeting in Lafayette on the 27th. So if anyone is in the Lafayette, Louisiana area and you're interested in working with this soccer coach right here, she's the person to reach out to. If you can't find her, reach out to me and I will direct you to her. So everyone, thank you again. This has been another episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things. Appreciate each and every one of you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.